Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie
Notification volume
Marcus.
0%.
One more time. This is a Sunday morning. I think it's August 2nd, 2020, and I'm still in Mississippi, and it is awfully, awfully hot and humid. But I'm up this morning, ladies and gentlemen, so grateful that I have the opportunity to share with you what I've been given. And what I've been given to you is something that many of you have not heard, but many of you have. And the purpose of it is that it will benefit us all. You know, I was thinking about my beginnings, how we are so deceived. And I'm thinking about this because America has been, the people of America have been so deceived and programmed. Now, what specifically am I speaking about? I think about, my friends, the beginning of America. Well, we weren't here when America started. We missed the founding fathers coming together and saying the things that they said, but they were written down, and some of them were something very impressive. Others were not so impressive to we the people at this time, but I think it served a good purpose back at that time. I'm talking about slavery. We were talking about everybody having equal justice and all of this when we didn't even treat people, human blacks and people of color, as humans. But then I thought about how this nation, especially how we were programmed when I was a kid. That's some 60, 70 years ago. They used to have the television programs with the soldiers who were going around, and they were killing Indians, natives, moving them off their land, putting them on reservations, beating them down, my friends, taking them into war, calling them savages. And as I grew up seeing this stuff on television, I didn't know it was actually programming me to believe that trap. I ended up scared of Indians. I mean, you can't tell me an Indian was in town. It had me so nervous. And I was so proud that these Union soldiers were able to beat down the natives, to get them off that land so we can have a place to stay. Well, the thing that made me agree with that is because they were telling us and showing us through the movies that is why we had a place to stay, because they took this land. At the time, they hadn't told us a thing about black people being slaves. I hadn't seen any of that. But I did see how they put Tarzan in Africa. And I had all the black people running around with bones in their nose and bones in their ears, and made it so despicable, I didn't even want to associate myself with that. In fact, Tarzan was my man. Then I realized one day that my descendants were slaves. Excuse me, my ancestors were slaves. And I'm thinking, wow, where did that happen? I've been walking around thinking that I was all of this and all of that, find out I'm really nothing. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I say that to say this. What Donald Trump is doing in this country today is basically the same thing that this nation was founded on. It was the same thing that this nation was founded on. America, number one. What are they talking about? Talking about white people. You think he wasn't? Look what he's saying right now. Look how he's attacking all people of color, even attacking anybody that wants to associate themselves with black people like the Democratic Party. They just want to take your this and take your that, trying to split us up the same way they did in the beginning. Now, can you believe that? Well, you better believe it. There's something else that's going on at this time, though. There's a virus indiscriminately taking people's lives. Taking people's lives, and this person, president, doesn't have any idea what to do. Go back to work. His main thing is money. See, it's never been about the people. It's only about the people that is needed to be used to carry forward the agenda of the oppressor. And that's why in America the oppressor has always been white. Ever since this nation has been established, the oppressor has always been white. And for black people and people of color, they say we've had more recently over 400 years of it. But we don't have to say that. We've had it ever since we've been here. And for those of us who are 100 years old today, we'll attest to the fact that for 100 years, that's all we've had. If that's the only connection we have with the past, we've had 100 years of that. And it's not actually going anywhere because we've been programmed to think that if the Republican Party can't present itself, then give the Democrats a chance. And if the Democrats don't work it out, come back to the Republicans. That's the same thing that's been going on in this country ever since this country's been established. And now the people are suckered down to it to believe that it is the only solution. You got black people that are congressmen. You got black people that are United States senators. We got them in mayoralships. We got them in governorships. We got them in city councils. We got them in the police department. We got them in every little nicket of our establishments. And what are they doing? Adhering to the same basic principles. Some will say, well, they have to because they took an oath saying that they were going to uphold these things. And perhaps that is true. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say those things that are affecting you, those things that you require change and been hoping that change come and praying for change come, I want you to know it's not going to come from the establishment. It's not going to come from the establishment people. They are going to continuously advocate the establishment because they took an oath. So I'm saying to you, it is time we have a new America. Not a great America, let's Trump talk about it, but a new America. A new America found on the basic principles, my friends, that there is going to be equality. And that equality is going to come about because we're going to respect ourselves, we're going to respect our maker, and we're going to respect one another. Each of us breathe this air. Each of us walk on this earth. Each of us drink this water. And each of us need food in order to survive. And so each of us, my friends, must and should contribute in the process of creating all of those essentials that we have established as being essential for our lives. Now, there's no question about that. A dumb monkey can see that. A dumb ape can see that. And I know a dumb white person and a dumb black person should be able to see that. And if you can't see it, then this pain and suffering that's been issuing out to you will bring you to the point that you can see it. Now, what pain am I talking about? I'm not just talking about the sickness, which we should have been able to master right now, but I'm talking about the wildfires that you can't put out. Every year, they're just burning up everything, and the planes are flying. People out there with hoses, digging this and digging that, and replanting this and replanting that, but the fires continue to come. The hurricanes continue to come. The tornadoes continue to come. The earth eruptions continue to come. Hey, nature is pissed off with the world. And so this virus is just wiping people out to say, hey, I don't care who you are. You are not God. And in order for us to survive the way we think we would like to survive, it's going to require one another. It's going to require one another. And I propose to you, ladies and gentlemen of the United States of America, that we make a change in our society. That we don't wait 4 more years to find out that the Republicans, that the Democrats who are going to replace the Republicans are going to do that much better. No, they just won't be Trump. But they won't be doing anything for you. You will still be offered maybe $15 an hour as a minimum wage. Why should you receive a minimum wage when you are contributing to the process of all things that exist? You are the authors of it. Why should you be getting a minimum wage, somebody else getting a middle wage, and somebody else getting a super wage? I know I'm talking fast, ladies and gentlemen, but it's hot out here. Why should these things happen? Think about that. I realize it's kind of complicated because no, it's not that complicated. You've thought about these things yourselves, and you couldn't come up with an answer because there was no one out there speaking politically addressing these concerns. I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, if you are worth a dime, if you're worth the salt in your bread, do not be deceived by anybody telling you to stick to the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. They are not going to give you anything but what you've been getting all along. They might, if you switch from Trump, they might not get you as fast, but they're on that same path. But if you deserve better, ladies and gentlemen, it is your responsibility to change the path that you're on, to guarantee to one another that you're going to stand up for one another. And then when you go to church, you're going to talk about a God that is a God of the blacks and the whites. I'm not trying to keep white people down. I'm not even trying to keep rich people from being rich. All I want to say is that if we think that rich means having the resources that you need to survive, then let us all be rich by having the resources that we need to survive. If loving God means that you're going to treat people right, then let us all treat people like we want to be treated. And if we can't do that, let us stop talking about God. Look at the gods that we've been given. We've been given a God that says a house divided cannot stand. And yet, my friends, they split God up, put part of them on the Democratic side, put part of them on the Republican side, put part of them in the black community, put part of them in the white community, and are diabolically opposed to one another. That's how they delivered God. And not only that, they printed that God, that we were made in the image of God, suggesting that God is a man. Now, this, look at this guy. There's sky on my head. Look at that sky up there. You think man has something to do with making that? Look how beautiful it is. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could just see it. I wish you could see it. Let me see. I'm going to turn the camera up. I just want you to see the sky. See it. Look how beautiful it is. My. And you think man has something to do with that? I tell you what, the power that was able to, and is able to make that and keep it like that is able, my friends, to stop those fires, is able to quiet the storms, is able to feed us those blessings that we need. That power, my friend, is able to give us knowledge and skills how we can get rid of cancer. We can get rid of this stuff that tears our bodies. We should be able to conquer the sick. God, somewhere in the scripture it says, now I don't want you to do this too much, that you should be able to lay hands on the sick and they shall recover. My friends, what are we waiting on? We're going to the hospitals and stuff. All people are doing is giving you some medicine or band-aids to help keep you sick so they keep on making money. Money has got to come out of the picture. And why do I say that? Because today, people will do anything to get money because they say it will aid them to have a better life. Money. How come just being alive will aid you to have a better life and you don't know it? Ladies and gentlemen, when you go to the polls in November 3rd, or if you just have to do a write-in ballot, you write in Eddie Marcus, the next president of the United States. Don't worry about whether the Democrats were going to win. If I vote for you, Eddie, then that's going to take a vote from the Democrats. Okay, it's a vote for freedom. It's a vote for prosperity. It's a vote for peace and joy. A vote for Eddie Marcus. That's what it's for. It's a vote, my friends, for liberty. Otherwise, if you vote Republican or Democrat, it's the hell that you're still living in that you're voting for. So I ask you, are you smart or are you dumb as people think you are? Until next time, this is Eddie Marcus. Say, it is time, my friends, for a brand new America brought on by a new spirit. A new spirit. It's not the person, it's the spirit that's within, the spirit that's guiding the person. Now, I'm glad to say it's in me. I ain't no shame in my game. Now, do you know it? Goodbye.
Stop button. Stop button.